motherfucker.
Okay, everybody. Welcome to part 3 of Ask the King. That's right, it's going to be a long one. This holiday one has quite a lot of good questions. I'm not sure if it's going to be 1 or 2 more parts, so bear with me. I'll try to cram it into one part, but if I can't, I'll do another one, all right? So jump right back into it. Next question is from Last Rambo 341, and Last Rambo asks the following. If a gaming studio such as Quantic Dream, for example, approached you so that you could work with them by providing your voice and facial likeness for a DSP-looking character, would you accept it? Why wouldn't I? You know what I mean? Even if the game is shit, even if it ends up being a joke game, to be in a game is pretty cool. You know what I mean? I could say, wow, I've played games my whole life, games are my livelihood, and now I'm in one. So do I ever think that Quantic Dream or a studio of that caliber would ever come up to me and say, would you like to be in our game? Fuck no. But if anyone ever did say, like, we were actually joking around about the possibility of an Angus Chang making a game of us. Maybe we'll do that in the future. Who knows? It would be kind of funny. Would people want an Angus Chang made game with me and Rambo and other people in it? I don't know. Would people buy it? Or would it get one sale on Xbox Live and everyone else would just fucking shit on it? I don't know. But obviously, yes. Anyone who could possibly be in a video game would probably answer yes to that question. Okay. Next question from DarkRay117. And he asks the following, and this is actually a very pertinent question to right now. You may be shocked at the answer. He says, hey Phil, how is the housing market in Connecticut currently? Do you think that you'll be able to sell your condo for at least the amount that you bought it for? If not, have you ever considered keeping it and just renting it out? Well, Dark Ray, unfortunately now we do have to get a little bit into the humbug instead of a festive mood, because here's the deal. I bought this condo back in 2009. At the time, the housing market was very different. And it literally was around that time when things kind of plummeted and all the prices dropped through the basement. Now, this condo, at the time, the guy who was selling it was trying to sell it for way higher than what the appraiser came in. And when he appraised it, what he said it was worth. All right? So I ended up buying it for much less. However, as of right now, I've been checking home prices. And primarily home prices are not based off of what the assessed value of your property is. It's actually based off of what's selling in the area. And the bottom line is the other units in this condo facility are selling for less than what I paid for. All right. In addition, I have asked my mortgage company for a payoff quote. The payoff quote is higher than what the other units in this condo facility are selling for. Which means if I were to sell this right now, I'd probably have to lose money, which means pay thousands and thousands of dollars out of my pocket to pay off whatever's left over on the mortgage. That's bad, all right? In addition to that, I looked into renting. I said, gee, let's say I were to move, but I were to rent this place out. The average rental cost in this area for the units in this condo is lower than what my mortgage payment is. That's right. It's actually just under what my mortgage payment is. And by the way, keep in mind, in addition to my mortgage payment, I also pay condo fees every month that are not factored in. So whether I sell this place or I rent this place, I'm going to lose money on it because Connecticut sucks the giant fucking boner of industry. Connecticut is fucking terrible. Don't ever fucking come here unless you're forced to for work. Fuck this state. It's never done a goddamn thing good for me, and I'm tired of the bullshit of being dicked in the ass by this fucking state. I can't wait to get the fuck out of here. That's the bottom line. So, sorry I was so negative right there with that answer. Now let's move on to a new actual question that hopefully is a positive one. Okay. All right, this is a good question. This question is from Prince Sephiroth, okay? Here's his question. He says, hey, Phil, I guess, let me phrase it this way. He had a tremendously large question, but he summarized it well in this one paragraph, so I'm just going to read this one paragraph from his question. So Prince Sephiroth says this. He says, in light of all the YouTube changes this week, the fact that the new content ID system is in effect, and it doesn't look like our partner networks are going to be protecting us from things like copyright strikes and stuff in the future. He says, I guess what I'm really asking is, what can these partner networks offer us now? The company that partnered me, whose name I'm going to decline to say for the sake of the contract that I signed, gets a pretty big share of my profits. And in turn, they provide a library of original music that I can download and use in my videos. But honestly, I could probably find music on the internet anyway that I could use myself. And they also provide a website which I can talk with others partnered under the same company. I can also view how much I've made on each video. And that's about it. Or at least, that's all I can see of actual value that's offered. They did offer a somewhat flimsy safety net for us uploading our content. But now that safety net is gone. So what are Let's Players paying these companies for now? First of all, Prince Sephiroth. What I want to let you know, which you probably aren't aware of because you're in a certain type of partnership, is that not every partnership's the same. I'm going to tell you right now, my partnership with Machinima is drastically different than yours for multiple reasons. Number one, Machinima doesn't take a cut of what I make. Machinima takes all of what I make on my videos, and they pay me a flat rate per views on videos that they make money off of. Completely different from your arrangement. But there's a flip side to that. Number two, Machinima does not provide free music for me to use in my videos. Number three, there really is no website where I can interact with other Machinima partners. Number four, there was another thing that he mentioned. Let me find it here. Oh, even something as simple as finding out how much money I make on each video, it doesn't exist. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, you might not believe this. When I started with Machinima several years ago, it was a completely different company. They had a full-time staff of dedicated people who I talked to on a daily basis. I had a direct line of contact, a phone number, an email, a person I could reach 24/7 if I needed to. It's all gone. Machinima, if you've heard all these rumors about Machinima, it's not even rumors, press releases about Machinima being 2 waves of layoffs, they gutted everyone. So anyone who was hired to support the partner program was laid off. I have no line of contact at all. I have no way to find out anything pretty much. What they did, they instituted an automated log system that doesn't work. The automated log system needs personnel to support it. Machinima never hired anyone to support it. So you put a log in there, it sits there for 3 weeks before anyone even looks at it. Then the log usually does not get addressed properly and just gets closed. So when it comes to customer support, Machinima went from here down to the toilet, the underground toilet in your basement. That's how bad it's got. But I've accepted all these changes because I know that my agreement with Machinima, the way that I am making a flat rate versus views compared to how other people are getting a cut of ad revenue, it's better. Right now, with Machinima, I'm making more than I would if I went to another company that had some kind of performance-based percentage based off of ad revenue, at least assuming that I'd be getting the same ads. Now, it's possible that if I went to another partnered network and they had better ads, that I'd make more money. But I don't know, and that's a huge risk to take. It's a lot more consistent and safe for me to have this current agreement that I have with Machinima than try to go to a new one. All right? So, what he's asking is really, if these partner networks are no longer going to protect us from this content ID matches and copyright strikes, what's the purpose of being with a partner network? Quite honestly, the answer to that for everyone is it's up to your partner network and it's up to your situation. Very shortly, it's going to be announced that there's a new way to upload videos to YouTube and that not everyone's videos will go live right away. There's going to be randomly selected videos that are going to be stuck for review for several days. YouTube is actually going backwards to the old way that they used to have videos upload to the website, which I don't understand, but they do what they want, as you know from this week's content ID changes. So maybe you have a network that's going to put you under a category called managed where you won't have to put up with that new screening process. I don't know, and I don't even know if Machinima is going to do that for me. I just saw a tweet from Optic J, who's kind of like the face of Machinima to the partners, saying that they're going to put out a newsletter earlier this week than usual, and in that newsletter it's going to explain who's going to be under the protected status, who's not going to be under the protected status. I mean, being that I'm one of their biggest partners, fingers fucking crossed that they would put me under it, but there's no guarantee. I have no idea. So, really, I can't answer your question because I don't know what partner networks really are going to be doing in the future. Now, here's the bottom line. If you feel that you're with a partner network and they're taking a percentage of the ad revenue that you're making, but they're not giving you any kind of a positive factor, then fuck it. Dump them. Give them the boot. Leave them. And then go ahead and go by yourself. Go on your own AdSense. Deal with all the content ID matches yourself. if we're all going to have to in the future, it might make more sense. I don't know what kind of money people would make off the AdSense program. Here's the thing, though. Remember when I was under AdSense, for the very few months that I was just under AdSense making gameplay videos after I got laid off, I got kicked out of AdSense. They told me that it was a fraudulent activity. When I didn't participate in fraudulent activity, I was not sitting there clicking the fucking ads. So how can you prove that? You can't. The problem is, if you're with a network, the network probably won't get kicked completely from the AdSense program, so at least you'll have consistent revenue. If you're in your own AdSense program, they can just boot you for any reason. Oh, you rubbed us the wrong way, fuck it, we'll say there was fraudulent activity, and we give you the boot. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's anti-user. It's anti-content creator. And Google's basically always been that way, and they're a bunch of selfish fucking hoity-toity hipster pricks who need to get a swift kick to the fucking balls. So really the answer to your question is it's dependent on your own situation. It's a huge risk trying to do gameplay videos on your own personal AdSense. It's going to be up to you whether or not you want to take that risk or not. Okay? All right, next question is from Smart Weirdo. Smart Weirdo asks the following. He says, I noticed you don't plan on playing the new Dragon Ball Z game coming out January 2014. I was wondering why not. Well, now this is an interesting question for two reasons. First of all, it's interesting because if you remember, I played Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Shippuden fucking ass fucking ninja star Kamehameha whatever the fuck no jutsu game was earlier this year, and I did enjoy playing the story campaign of the game. It got pretty good views too, and it was the first time I played an anime style game like that, but I haven't played one since. So the first initial answer to your question, Smart Weirdo, is, well, I didn't know that there was a Dragon Ball game coming out. When I was looking at the IGN listings, I probably just bypassed it with my eyes. And I'll be honest, at first when Smart Weirdo said this, I was thinking, gee, maybe that would be something fun to do in January, a Dragon Ball game. I've never done one. But guess what? I have some news for everyone. During this whole content ID flagging frenzy this week, guess what playthrough has entirely been claimed by Bandai? That's right. Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Shippuden Flying Ninja Star fucking Kamehameha bullshit no jutsu, the playthrough has been claimed by Bandai, and I have not disputed any videos in it yet, and the only reason I'm not is because I've heard really bad things about people who do playthroughs of anime-related games. Then they try to claim these ID disputes, and they get copyright strikes. So I haven't tried it yet. I don't even know if I should try, and at this point, maybe I shouldn't even do animated-related games if this is going to happen. So I'm really wary about playing another anime-related game, especially if I'm going to get my videos stolen. Okay? So, I'm probably more than likely not going to be playing Dragon Ball because it's too much of a risk. Just saying. Okay? Alright, next question. And by the way, we're almost through the forum questions, then we'll get into Twitter and Facebook. The next question is from Solid Fantasy. Haha! A lot of you know who that is. Solid Fantasy asked the following. He says, what are some other movies that you enjoy watching during the holiday season? I saw you tweeting about Christmas Vacation, and coincidentally, I also love that movie. Gotta love Clark's rant when he doesn't get his Christmas bonus. Some others I personally enjoy are Bad Santa, A Christmas Carol, but I forget which year it is, but it is one of the black and white versions, and It's a Wonderful Life. I love this time of year because I get to watch some of the movies that I grew up with. What are my favorite Christmas movies? All right, definitely National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It's an American classic. Definitely Scrooged, the Bill Murray version of the story of A Christmas Carol that came out in the 90s when big TV was all the rage. Scrooge is now a media exec, and it's so well done. And of course, Bill Murray's style of comedy. I love that fucking movie. A Christmas Story. That's right. It is another American classic. The Red Ryder BB gun. You're going to shoot your eye out. Ho, ho, ho. And then Santa kicks you in the fucking face. I love all that stuff. I grew up with that movie. I watched this one last night, everybody. It's a Wonderful Life. I watched it last night. That is another American classic. You can't go wrong. Such an amazing, heartfelt, really positive story. In addition to all those, the Muppet Christmas Carol is actually my favorite version of the Christmas Carol, if you can believe it, just because Michael Caine is such a great actor, and the Muppets are awesome. It's really well done. The music's actually great. And you know, for me, usually in those movies, I don't really like the musical numbers. I actually like all the music in the Muppet Christmas Carol. So think about that. The Charlie Brown Christmas, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Here Comes Santa Claus, The Year Without a Santa Claus, what else? Jeez, how many? I have so many. Frosty the Snowman. I've watched most of it. I still have to watch Here Comes Santa Claus. I still have to watch the Charlie Brown Christmas. And Miracle on 34th Street, the original. I still have to watch those 3 before the season ends. So, Bad Santa, I have it. It's good, but that's the kind of movie I don't think of it as a Christmas movie. I don't. I really don't feel like it's a Christmas movie. It's more of like a dirty comedy that I could watch at any time. Elf, a lot of people like. I've only seen Elf a couple times, and I liked it. I just never bought it. I don't know why. Another one is The Nightmare Before Christmas. I actually saw it. When I saw it in the 90s, I didn't like it, but I think I'm warming up to it more that I'm an adult. But I haven't seen it, and I went to the store. I was going to go buy it. $27. I said, what? It's a fucking movie from the 1990s. $27. You could take your fucking nightmare and shove it up your ass. I'm not paying that much money for it. So if I ever see Nightmare Before Christmas for the cheap, I'll probably get it. But I love Christmas. I always watch all those things every year. I'm sure I'm even missing a few, and I cannot wait to watch the rest of them that I haven't not gotten to yet. The one I will never watch is How the Grinch Stole Christmas live-action movie with Jim Carrey. That movie sucks. I say bah humbug to that one. All right. All right, and the last question before we get to Twitter questions is from 9Kenny5, who might even be in the stream chat right now. And he asks, hey, DSP, seeing as you're looking into buying a house, what would your ideal home include? For example, how many bathrooms, how many bedrooms, an office for your gaming, etc. All right. Again, another pertinent question because Panda Lee and I have been talking about this quite a lot. Putting in our desires, what would we really like in our dream home? She has her own ideas of what she would like, including, I think, a huge closet, a certain type of kitchen for her and her arts and crafts. She's going to go into soap making in the future, stuff like that, an own home business. For me, here's primarily what I would want. Fridge just made a lot of noise. That was weird. Number one, I would need at least 2 bedrooms, if not 3. 2 bedrooms would be cool because we got the master bedroom for us and then an office where I can do my gaming related stuff. All right. 3 bedrooms would be ideal because we'd have our own master bedroom, my office, and then an extra room where she could maybe do her arts, crafts, soap making, whatever her small business is going to end up being, or it could be a guest room. So that's the ideal thing for bedrooms. Bathrooms, we need 2. You can't have 1 bathroom. In this day and age, you can't. What if, oh, God forbid, John Rambo's over or someone's over visiting, and I got to take a steaming shit, but someone's really got to fucking piss. Now, what do? Who goes first? The guy who has to take a shit or the one who has to piss? Does one guy shit in the toilet and one piss in the sink? You can't do it. You need 2 bathrooms. You need it. Now, 3 bathrooms would be awesome. Maybe 2.5 baths, but I'm not necessarily seeking that. You only really need 2 bathrooms, definitely. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. The one other major requirement for me, I need storage space, and when I say that, as I say that, take a look at the corner. Hold on. Take a look at the corner of my fucking condo. All right. Look at all that. All those boxes. And the reason I have all those boxes over there, those are the boxes for all of my statues and models. And unfortunately, I need to keep them because when we move, I'm going to need to have a way to transport those models. And those are all full of custom-made styrofoam to fit those models. I can't throw them out, but I need somewhere to put them. There are things that from time to time, for example, do I need the fucking Christmas tree all year? No, I don't, but I need somewhere to store it. You know, I need somewhere that has some kind of storage, and this condo has none. Oh my God, this condo was supposed to have storage originally when I moved in. Hold on, let me center this. How does that look? Shit, now it looks like it went too high. Let's find out. Hold on. I bet you guys like that. Maybe being able to go on the fly and do that, right? How is it? It's good. That's centered. Okay. But yeah, there's no storage. I was supposed to have storage here. In fact, hold on. Let's flip my little screen here so I can see myself. In the basement of this condo, there was supposed to be storage area, and they don't let us use it anymore because it got flooded. Then there were fucking bums down there squatting, and now it's full of mold, and they won't fix it. So I have no storage at all anywhere. So that's the problem. I need somewhere where there is storage, okay? All right, so now let us go to Twitter questions. And the first question is from Kilson13, and he asks, do you enjoy using direct capture live streaming now more than when you were using the standard HD camera a year ago? It's a double-edged sword, really. There's many positives. There's a few negatives. The many positives are I can live stream like I'm doing right now. I can make this video on the fly with no video editing. After this, as soon as I'm done with this episode, I upload it to YouTube immediately, no problems. That's an amazing boon for me, okay? I can do direct capture. I fully agree that the direct capture footage this year, the quality of the videos is much better than what I used to do with my camera. But I disagree. I think that the audio here doesn't sound the same. It's annoying that I have to use a mic and that it doesn't sound the same as my old commentary. And despite all of my attempts, I can't figure out a way to go back to the old way and have it work. In addition, I have to wear headphones. And I'll be honest, it's annoying. I hate it. I bought 3 sets of headphones this year. Turtle Beach, Triton, and now I'm using the Astro A40s. 2 out of the 3 broke. Let's think about that. 2 out of the 3 sets of gaming headphones broke. And I've had to get replacements. And by the way, the Triton headphones, I did send those in for warranty, and I'm supposed to be getting the warranty replacement this week. I actually need to go check my mail during the break and see if they did send it yet. But I enjoy it because I know my videos are higher quality visually. I know that the live streaming is helping a lot of stuff. The live streaming allows me to do things like this show interactively that I was never able to do before. And I thoroughly enjoy it. But there's always the flip side. There's the fact that, like I said, unfortunately, the audio quality isn't as good. I have to wear headphones. And, I don't know. It's always a double-edged sword. I personally think that I did the right thing and I needed to adapt. I really feel if I didn't adapt this year, this might have been my last year on YouTube. That people would have said, we're had enough. We're not going to watch this guy with his camera anymore when everyone else is putting out high-quality footage, especially with these new next-gen consoles, the PS4 and Xbox One. I think that would have been the last straw. People would have said, this does not look as good as the console's supposed to be. We're out of here. So I'm glad that I did adapt, and I hope that you guys are enjoying the new format of the content that I've put out this year. Excuse me. Okay, next question is from DJ Smokey93. DJ Smokey asks, if you were still working your full-time job, do you think you would have time to do gameplay videos and live stream every day? I have an answer for this. Do you think I would have time to do gameplay videos every day? Probably. It would vary. It would be some days maybe I have very little time. Some days I have no time. Some days I have a lot of time. Live stream would not happen. The live streaming, if I still had my full-time job, would never have happened because I wouldn't have had the time to have this equipment and fuck around with it for months like I did and find the right settings, get a camcorder like I'm staring at right now and make it work because if I was still working my full-time job, I wouldn't be making money on YouTube. So I wouldn't have hundreds and hundreds of dollars to spend on that and spend on this and spend on everything. My full-time job didn't pay me a lot of money. It was okay. It was a respectable income, and it was steady. That was the primary thing about it. It was steady, and I had health care that was relatively not very expensive versus what I'm paying now to have health care for myself outside of being with a major company. And it was secure. That was the thing. Knowing that every day, no matter what I do, I'm fine. I can go to work. I'm still going to have income that's consistent. Right now, I don't have that. I don't. With YouTube at any time. Right now, YouTube can say, fuck it. Everyone who has a content ID match is gone and take away their channels. And I have no power. I have no power to appeal. And that's what Google's doing with a lot of people. Which, don't get me wrong, they are doing that with a lot of people. But, it is what it is. And I enjoy what I'm doing. But if I were doing full-time job, I would not be able to do what I'm doing right now. That's the bottom line. Next question from Slinky Bitch. The Slinky Bitch asks, what are some of your family's Christmas traditions? Well, First of all, food-wise, my mom always makes, I don't know what she calls them. She calls them strips, but I know that's not what they were originally called. What it is, think of like I've answered this before, but I'll do it again. Think of like a jelly roll, but the jelly roll is made of bread, not like gooey cake. The filling isn't like frosting or jelly. It's actually different things like nuts, a nut paste, a prune paste, raisins, poppy seeds, all kinds of different things. And it's a pastry that she rolls up, and it becomes a giant like long loaf, and she cuts it into little pieces that you eat as like a pastry. That's a holiday tradition that's come down with my family. Outside of that, not really many holiday traditions when it comes to food. Now, when I was younger, what we would all do, the whole family, so I'm talking about myself and my parents, my mom's cousin, who his family, he's actually my godfather, so him and his wife and their 3 daughters, my mom's other cousin, who's his brother, would be there, our great aunt, our great uncle, and then the parents of my godfather's wife would also show up. So it was kind of like there were 2 sets of grandparents, even though they weren't technically my grandparents. And it was like having siblings there. It was fun. We would all get together at my great aunt's house, and my great uncle would dress up like Santa Claus and sit down and have us all sit on his lap, and he would give us presents. And of course, we were all small, so we were fooled into thinking that he was Santa Claus. It was fun. It was fun to have when I was a kid, and I'm glad it went away eventually. What ended up happening, unfortunately, as we got older, a lot of my family had infighting, and they started hating each other, and they were all just having a family fucking feud, which I think was so fucking stupid. But they did it, whatever. And now we don't really talk to each other anymore that much. And I don't have that anymore. But maybe one day when I have kids, maybe it'll come back. Maybe I know that Panda Lee has a family who I have not even really met most of them. The only one I've met is her mother. So maybe we'll have that on her side of the family. I don't know. But my tradition right now is on Christmas. I'm making a weird noise. On Christmas, maybe that's the ghost of Christmas bah humbug or something. The ghost of YouTube past. That's what it is. Come back, old YouTube, and work. Okay, sorry. It's, what I do right now, I get up, I go to my parents' house on Christmas, sit around for a few hours, hang out, and then we have a big Christmas dinner, and that's pretty much it. I come home. Like, it's not like it used to be where, I bring all presents and we exchange, because, like, what they wanted this year, they wanted a TV. So I bought them a TV. They've had it for a month. They love it. So it is what it is. All right, next question. Let's see here. From Venomous Fat Man. Yes, Venomous Fat Man asked me a pretty interesting question. He says, with all the great games still around for last-gen consoles, do you feel that the next-gen consoles were needed right now? The question really is, are next-gen consoles ever needed? Because there's always seems to be big support for the previous gen when they come out. Remember when the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 came out, they both had horrible launch lineups, while the existing consoles of PS2 and Xbox One were still getting great releases. So it's pretty much the same situation now as it always is. Right now they're really weak. They will have better games and must-buy games now. Is there a reason right now definitively for you to drop the last gen and go to the next? Not really, but that might change in a few months. All right. Okay, everyone. This next question is going to explain a lot. This is going to be a very informative answer, and this is a question a lot of people have been asking me, both people with well wishes and people who hate my guts and want to see me burn and not be able to do this stuff on the internet and on YouTube anymore. This question is from Toby Suzumiya. And Toby asked this question. He says, given the circumstances that now have happened on YouTube this week, does this interfere with your revenue? Does it interfere with your plans to move? All right, here's the deal. If I were any other YouTuber, if all these years of doing content for YouTube, had conformed to the norm, if I had listened to all the people that said you should be like everyone else, I might be in dire straits, and I might need to right now literally drop everything I'm doing and go find a full-time job. All right? If I didn't dare to be different, I might be fucked right now. Because here's what's happening with YouTube. YouTube is doing this content ID flagging. They're doing it indiscriminately. No one is safe. They're doing it for music. They're doing it for in-game soundtracks, which I know is preposterous. They're doing it for absolutely every fucking thing you could think of. And the thing is, the game companies don't want it. It's only the music studios. But they're fucking people over. Now, here's the perspective that I have, which is why I'm so happy today in such a festive mood, and I'm not crying like a lot of other major YouTubers right now. Just on DSP gaming alone, in the past, since when did I open DSP Gaming? 2010, so 3.5 years. At this point, I have almost put out 25,000 videos. All right? 25,000 videos. All of which are ad enabled, or most of them, I should say, are ad enabled, and that on demand you can watch them at any point in time. That's why my DSP Gaming channel has over 250 million views, while other YouTube channels that have hundreds of thousands, some millions of subscribers don't have that many views. It's because I diversified myself. I did full game playthroughs, but I also did travel vlogs, but I also did game reviews, but I put out a shitload of content for you. Now, some people say I did it wrong. Phil, you should have been like every other YouTuber. Instead of uploading 10-minute clips, you should have uploaded 30-minute clips. You should have not done game playthroughs. You should have been more creative, like someone like Angry Joe or Far From Subtle or these other people who do these super long videos that have all this creative stuff with video editing and they dress up like the game characters to review the games. You should have been like them. You know, there are people out there with only 400 videos on their YouTube channel, but they've been making a living doing it because they get a shitload of views on every video. That's never been my business model, and it never will be. Okay? Now, what I did do this year is I did reduce the number of videos I was uploading because people gave me creative feedback and said, or I'm sorry, constructive feedback, said, Phil, hit the brakes. You're doing it too much now. You've completely oversaturated your audience. We don't want to watch that much content. So I listened to you directly, and I made changes this year, including direct capture, live streaming, and less videos, multiple series at a time, that I think have really worked out. However, now let's talk, all right? Now let's talk. So, everyone else on YouTube who puts out 1 to 2 videos a day, makes these big over-edited, crazy high production value videos, is literally pissing and shitting themselves right now. And here's why. I put out 25,000 videos, all right? In the past 3-4 days, it's been nuts. YouTube's been content ID flagging everything. As of yesterday, they calmed down. And in the past day, I think I've only gotten like maybe 10 new ones, if that. I don't even think I've gotten that many new ones, okay? And the good news is, a lot of the ones that I've disputed are being released, so I'm putting ads back on them, no problem. What about someone who only has 400 videos? Because they've only done, you know, a couple dozen playthroughs. Sure, they got 1 million views per video. They got the same content ID match as I did. So now compare. I have 25,000 videos, but 400 of them were content ID flagged. Okay, that's what? A trickle in the pond. That's not even like 1%. I don't know, you do the math, maybe it is 1%, but big deal. Versus someone who's uploaded 300 videos and 80 of those just got content ID flagged. And oh, by the way, out of those 80 are all of their top viewed videos ever. So immediately their massive source of revenue just got taken away from them. They're making no money right now versus me. I'm pretty much fine. Right now, the major things that got taken away from me are the Grand Theft Auto 5 playthrough, which most people already watched, the Super Mario 3D World playthrough, which I'm putting on hiatus, a few videos here and there of WWE content, the entire Naruto playthrough, pretty much all my Grand Theft Auto playthroughs are gone at this point. They're all taken by music companies, and videos here and there of different playthroughs, which I am actually very slowly but surely getting cleared up. So all in all this is going to do is take away Grand Theft Auto and maybe 1 or 2 other playthroughs here or there from me, and that's it. In the long run, from now on, when I play a game that has in-game music on a radio, I'm just going to mute it. So guess what? I'll continue to be able to play the newer games with no problems, and I won't have these content ID match issues. But the problem is these people who, unfortunately, were putting out different style. This was the YouTube style. You must do jump cuts. You must massively edit your video. You must have huge, long videos of gameplay if you're going to do gameplay, not 10-minute snippets. Guess what? Those people just got fucked by YouTube. That's why I'm here feeling good, because I saw the repercussions. It's barely affected me at all. Sure, yes, I am. I'm sure there's people who are still watching the Grand Theft Auto playthroughs. I'm sure people will continue to watch them. And does it suck that some music company, just because they had a snippet of their fucking song, they get 100% of the revenue on that video from now on? Of course it sucks. But I'm not going to sit here and pout, because I feel good that because I've been doing things differently, I basically protected myself. Even though 400 videos are gone, there's still another 24,700 videos that you guys can watch, and there's still going to be thousands more in the future coming out. I'm protected, but the common YouTuber who does it the YouTube way is not. What about Ray William Johnson? What about these people who are using content from other people? They're fucked. They're done. You will not be able to use that content anymore. So I don't know what anyone's going to do on YouTube. I really don't. So, you know, that's all I have to say. I don't know. For me, I'm pretty much protected, and I'm happy at that respect, but at the same time, I'm upset and furious that there are YouTubers who are legit, who love gaming, who are doing this for the love of it, and I'm going to give a shout out to Angry Joe right now, because I'm fucking flippin' pissed that this kid who has put in time, effort for 4 years, he's really bled gaming to entertain people, and now YouTube is basically shutting him down. It's not fucking right. And I'm tired of it. I really am tired of it. And in today's, I'm going to put an update video today about all this content ID fiasco, and I'm putting my foot down, and you're going to find out that there's a certain company that gave me a copyright strike that I told them to sue me. I said, please, by all fucking means, sue me. Please do, because I'm going to rip you a new fucking asshole in court. I'm going to make it a public spectacle when I fucking basically pants you in front of the world, because we're done. As gamers, we're done being fucking abused by these companies. It's over. I'm putting my fucking foot down. If they dare to step to me, I'm going to fuck them up. And I'm laying the law down right now. Already I've got support from people who said that they're going to help me. So we're going to see what happens with that. I'm going to talk about it in a content ID video that I'm putting on DSP Gaming later today. So watch that later today, okay? All right. Excuse me. So I digress. I feel really bad for everyone else. For me, it's literally had little to no effect, and I don't think it's going to affect me too much in the long run. As long as I'm careful about the music that plays in games, I think I'm going to be fine. Okay. All right. We're running real long on this one, guys, and I got to wrap it up within, say, 10 minutes. So I'm going to really quickly go through a few questions, and then we're going to do the Q&A in the stream, and we're going to wrap it up. Let's see here. Oh, Freddie Ballsy. I wonder if that's his real name. From Facebook asks, are you planning on having any kids ever, or do you have not have given it much thought? I'm the kind of... okay. I'm the kind of belch. All right. I'm the kind of person that I don't think that far ahead. I think, what's my next step? And right now, my next step in life is to continue doing what I'm doing on YouTube and Twitch and get a new place. Get a bigger place, a better place, where I can do better content, and I'm not paying out the ass the amount of prices and taxes that I am in here in Connecticut. Once that's done, then I move on to the next. You know what I mean? Like, right now, I'm not in any means to have kids. I couldn't raise a kid here in this condo. I don't live with my girlfriend. I wouldn't want to raise a kid where we're not even living together. So the answer is no. I've given no serious thought to kids. Doesn't mean that I might not want kids. It means that I'm not there yet. And that's the kind of person I am. I take life step by step by step. When I was back in high school and they said, what do you want to be in 10 years? I told my guidance counselor, you're a fucking asshole. The world's going to change within 10 years. How are you going to ask me what a stupid question, where do I want to do in 10 years? What a short, stupid, super far-sighted kind of dumbass philosophical garbage question is that. I would never answer those questions, okay? All right, next question. I'm going to skip a couple because a couple of these, they're not very good. The last question, I think, here. Nah, they're all pretty much stuff. Actually, this one I've already answered. This guy asks, am I ever going to play Resident Evil 2 and 3? And I already answered that for you guys. During downtime of this year, I might. All right, so you know what? That wraps it up. Let's now jump over to the stream. And I would now ask my forum mods if you could please... oh, shit. Oh, my God. I think I just lost all the questions. I did. Wow, that sucks. Because I needed those questions to put in the description of the video, and now I don't know what they are because I just fucking closed the text file without saving. So anyway, if my mods on Twitch could please go to subscribe rolling mode and start drawing questions, I'm gonna cry. All right, here we go. The first stream question is being drawn. Onyx Dragon 93 says, you and John have mentioned many times that you both longtime fans of WWE. What drew you in as a fan, and what match was it that did it for you? For me, it was because as a kid, I used to watch it with my dad on I think it was Saturday Night Main Event they had or something like that. And it just the spectacle, being able to see these guys participate in a ring. And of course, they were cartoonish characters. I loved Hulk Hogan. Oh, the good guy. Say your prayers, eat your vitamins. My dad thought it was hilarious. Kind of like how I watch wrestling now and make fun of it and laugh at it. Is how my dad watched it back then. He knew it was fake. He knew it was larger than life, but he loved it for that. I kind of loved it at that when I was a kid for different reasons, and then I grew up into it, liking it for other different reasons. There you go. Next question. From Domehammer. The question is, as a child, what was your most disappointing Christmas gift, and what was the biggest surprise for a Christmas gift? Most disappointing Christmas gift ever was when I was a kid. Now, keep in mind, when I was a kid, this is kind of a funny story. When I was young, I'm talking when I was young, not my rebellious teenage years, but when I was a younger kid, I did everything I could to be a very, very behaved kid. I wouldn't speak out. I wouldn't, misbehave with my parents. I really made an honest effort to be a good kid. And because of that, I'll be honest, my parents got me a lot of toys and stuff for Christmas, so it was always really good. One year, all right, I got a piece of coal as a joke gift. It was a joke, but it was a real piece of coal I got. And I actually felt so bad because I thought the reason I got it. Now, keep in mind, this is when, I thought Santa Claus still existed. I thought that I had done something horribly wrong to deserve a piece of coal, and I started crying my eyes out with feelings of remorse. And my parents were like, oh no, we didn't mean for this to happen. We thought it would be a funny joke. Yeah, well, let me tell you something, parents. Don't give your kids fucking coal as a joke gift because they don't get it, dumbass. So it was horrible. I was crying. Oh, it was terrible. It was a bad Christmas. And then they calmed me down, and then they gave me my real presents, and I was happy again. Okay. What was the best Christmas gift ever? Jeez. I don't know. I mean, I would have to think that it was when I was a lot younger. When I was a little kid, the action figures were all the rage back then. And I remember this one year, my parents bought me the big Eternia playset. It was like $300. It was incredibly expensive, but it was this giant fucking thing. It was like a huge tower in the center with multiple floors and trap doors and things that shot projectiles. And there was the evil side of it, and there was a good side of it. And I already had all the action figures, so all I had to do was take all my action figures and put them in there and play. And my God, I remember it was like the best Christmas ever when I was a little kid. I don't remember if there was a Christmas after that where it was like, wow. It wasn't like my parents ever said, oh, here's a car, Merry Christmas, or, here's this game system, you didn't think you were getting Merry Christmas. It was never really like that. Okay. Next question. Pest Charlie says, Phil, it would make me an extremely happy fan if you and John Rambo watched the live-action Tekken movie and did live commentary. Is it possible in the video? The answer is no, because you can't do that. You can't do commentary over a movie because that's considered copyright infringement, and we already have enough problems with Content ID matches, okay? So there is a group of people called Riff Tracks, who are the people from Mystery Science Theater 3000. They do that. They'll watch a new movie, and they'll do commentary over it, and what you need to do is play the movie with the riff track playing separately, and that way they avoid copyright infringement. But I'm not going to go into riff tracks, all right? Geez, there's too many questions being drawn now. All right, here we go. Next question. From Blackcraft24, he says, what was your favorite playthrough of 2013? It's hard to say. There were a lot of really good things that happened this year. BioShock Infinite was a splendidly good surprise. I thought it could go either way, but it really did take me back to the roots of BioShock, and I really enjoyed it. The Injustice campaign was incredibly good to the point where it was my highest viewed stream ever. People were loving it so much they got hooked. Obviously, I'm going to say something like Dead Space 3, where I did a full co-op playthrough with John Rambo, and we absolutely loved the game. Tomb Raider was quite good. The Last of Us was quite good. I really did like Beyond Two Souls, even though a lot of people watched it. I loved it. I don't know why people were like, the reviewer said it's not good, so I'm not going to watch that. Fucking such a stupid attitude to have, seriously. The game's great. Grand Theft Auto 5, duh. I mean, come on now. Grand Theft Auto 5, so much content, so much fun. It was a great game. There's so many. This year, I have to say, this year was pretty good for good games. I'm going to have a tough time in just a few weeks' time picking my game of the year, because I was blown away by a lot of stuff, and it's going to be a tough one this year. Okay. Next question. RL Chill asks, with the release of Season 2 of The Walking Dead, how excited for you for the upcoming season? I didn't see it. He says, he says The Walking Dead trailer. I didn't see the trailer. I don't want to spoil myself, so I'm not. And it comes out next week anyway, so I'm not going to spoil myself with the trailer. Next question from Hell Knight. She says, can you set up a DSP Angry Joe tag match, Falls Count Anywhere, Hell in a Cell versus 2 douche nozzle execs in Google YouTube for the WWE 2K14? I mean, I could. I would have to make Angry Joe, which I'm not very good at. I'm sure everyone would make fun of me that my Angry Joe sucks. I'm not sure if Angry Joe would appreciate that. I don't know. That was a silly question. Next question is from Skits241. He says, Phil, are you an atheist, or do you have a religious belief, or in fact, are you agnostic? Are you not sure if God exists or not? Do you realize that you just asked me 42 questions in one sentence? Are you atheist? Are you agnostic? But do you believe in God? Do you not believe in God? Or are you this? Or you that? Whoa. I've already said this before, and I'm going to say it again. My religious beliefs have nothing to do with my content on YouTube. Regardless of the fact if I believe in God, I don't believe in God, I believe in multiple gods, I believe that this piece of paper has a God inside of it, that there is no God, that every star is a God. You know, it doesn't matter. Do you like me and my content is the question. If the answer is yes, that's all you need to know. And the problem, the reason I don't want to answer this question is because there's too many people who, for them, religion is like the definitive thing. You could be a great person, you could do great things with your life, you could be entertaining, but if you don't believe in the God that I do, you're an enemy and I hate you. Yeah, there's people out there like that. There's a lot of people out there like that. And I'm not. I'm one of those people that's very accepting of everyone's beliefs. You know what? Hell, believe whatever the hell you want. If you want to believe that this water bottle is the all-in-one entity of the world and you want to worship the Aquafina gods, you can do whatever you want. I don't care as long as it doesn't negatively affect me or it doesn't discriminate or it doesn't hurt someone else. You know, you can believe what you want to believe. There are people who have belief systems completely built around the fact that they don't want to believe that they're ever going to die because they want to believe that there's 42 afterlives and stuff like that. There's people who believe that we're a speck in a giant monster. There's people who believe all kinds of stuff. And it's fine to believe that. You can believe whatever you want, you know? And I'm fine with it as long as it doesn't hurt someone or hurt me. So that's why I'm not gonna say what I believe, because I do have beliefs, but I'm not gonna say them because I'm not gonna go there. This is not DSP religion. This is not me trying to talk down to you and say these are my beliefs. It doesn't factor into anything, and therefore it's not important. There you go. It looks like there may be one or two more questions here. Please don't pull any more questions. Because I have to answer these that you've pulled, and we're going to wrap it up in the next 2 minutes anyway. Question here. B Bestvin asks, with the next generation upon us, what would you recommend hardcore gamers do with what they consider not amazing current gen games? Would it be better to hold on to them and sell them in a few years for more money, or get rid of them now for a few bucks? This includes games like Assassin's Creed, Darksiders 2. The two games that you mentioned will never be worth more than what they're worth now because they were incredibly mass-produced. Assassin's Creed, one of the biggest games that sell every year, that you're not going to ever get more money for. And Darksiders 2 was mass-produced as the game that was boxed in with the Xbox 360 for the past year, so there's too many of those. The market's oversaturated. Don't save your game. I would say this. If you ever have an inkling you're going to go back to play a game, save it. If not, get rid of it. What are you going to do with it? What are you hoarding for? All right. I think this is going to be the last question. Here we go. This question is from CJ Piakukwing. Sorry I pronounced your name wrong, but it's a really weird name. And he says, for all the videos that are content ID'd, Does all the net worth of money earned on the videos completely go to third-party companies? I'm sure this won't apply to older games such as Halo Reach, but what about Dead Rising 3 and Super Mario 3D? Do all the views on those videos go to third-party companies, making all your potential revenue nullified on your next paycheck? The answer is this. For anything that's been Content ID flagged, immediately I make no money on it. Until that Content ID flag is removed, I make no money on it at all. So any views that you do during that time period, I make no money at all. Right now, there's 2 parts of the Dead Rising 3 playthrough that got music copyright, Content ID matched. If you watch those 2 parts, I make no money on them. The good news is it's only 2 parts out of the entire playthrough, so for someone who's logically just watching the whole playthrough, I'm still making money on that playthrough. The Super Mario 3D World playthrough, I'm making no money on, and every part of it's been flagged. So if you're watching that playthrough, basically, I get making nothing off of it, and I worked for free. Okay? Now, the good news is, a lot of views already went on that playthrough before this happened. So I think in that regard, I made my money. Same thing with Grand Theft Auto. I would have to be an incredible asshole to be here and get up and stamp my feet and yell about Grand Theft Auto 5. Grand Theft Auto 5 was one of my most successful playthroughs of the year, and had ridiculous amounts of views up until, this Monday when the Content ID flags went on. So now, from now on, I won't make any more money on it, but I made my share, man. I'm not greedy. I'm not going to be a dick and complain about that. That would be so incredibly greedy of me to say, oh, I'm so angry that my Grand Theft Auto 5 playthrough. No, I already made my initial money on it, and I'm done. Now, unfortunately, is where I'm different from other YouTubers, where if they've only had 400 videos, they might rely on the fact that someone who just discovered who they are goes and watches all 400 of their videos. Right now, if you go watch them, they're not making money on most of their videos. So for them, they're boned. And that's how it is. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, a lot of people are getting boned with their Content ID. I am not. I am actually in a good position. So that is going to do it for the Holiday 2013 edition of Ask the King. I thank anyone who submitted questions. Already, there is a forum up on thekingofhate.com, a thread for you to post your questions for next month. Please do so, because unfortunately I keep forgetting to mention it during the month, and then everyone rushes in last minute to submit questions. Please submit them now while you can, and over the course of the month. A few quick reminders. My year-end series are going live on DSP Gaming Daily. Check them out. They're some of the best work that I put out. It's one of the few times of the year I do a lot of video editing work, regardless of the fact that I hate my video editor. And in addition to that, I guess the only thing else that I have to say is everyone have a happy holiday season. No matter what holiday it is that you celebrate, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, Festivus, the worship of the Aquafina holiday, whatever it is that you do, have fun doing it. Be safe. Don't overdo it. I hope that this is the best time of year for me. It's the best time of year, I think, for everyone, because we all feel positive about the world. Enjoy your time. Don't take your friends and relatives for granted. Oh, God, I got to go see them on Christmas. Don't be one of those humbugs. This is the time of year where it's time to be positive and to be happy that you have them. You could be some people out there who have no one, all right? So if you have them, enjoy it while you still have it. Thanks, everyone, for watching Ask the King. I'll see you next month. Peace out. Merry effing Christmas. And bah humbug to Google and those motherfucking Scrooges over there who are going like this and rolling in their money. Fuck you. You may be hearing from me soon, you stupid dicks. And for the company that gave me a copyright strike, oh, you'll be hearing from me real soon. Have fun. Have a happy holiday. See you later.